first episode 1 is on the concept of grant winning and grant writing. Then how do I choose a topic that will be appreciated instead of a thematic area? Then grant writing proposal, what is the kind of template? And those of us that have followed us before now, we have shared that via emails. And then I will share some helpful tips in assessing grants, and then I will draw from some useful lessons from ongoing and recently executed research grants. Okay, so these are what I'll cover in the next few minutes. So the first point, concept of grant writing and grant winning. What are the things we must know? Number one is key. Grant could be an amount of money. So it could be in money, it could be in support towards a given cause. For example, I can say that this program I'm doing now, I got a grant for it, but not in money, but in support. For example, the OB meter I'm using now was given to me for free. The COO of the OB Open Panaiko said, Prof, we appreciate what you are doing. We are willing to give you OB meter for free to use it. So for me, it's OB meter gave me this grant to use a platform for the purpose. What's the purpose? To have this network series. So that's the grant. Okay, it could be as much as could be monetary term, it could be monetary, it could be in kind, but it's given to support towards a given target or a purpose or a cause. And I always, when I share this experience, I always tell my colleagues that it's not an appeal or begging. Okay, funding agencies are not charity bodies. Okay, it's a mutual interest. You are not begging them. You're not. There's a tax to be met. You're only requesting. So it's a mutual interest. They have a tax because the more grant they award. So in other words, your success as a grantee is a plus as a granting agency. For example, ARC, if they give a grant, they publish it in their special issues and also report to their own larger agency that we're able to award those grants in the given year. So it's a mutual interest. Both you as a grantee or applicant and the funding agency are actually working toward the same goal of contributing or solving society problems. So it's not an appeal. So that will give us courage to make much progress as much as we can. The next point I want to mention, it could be individual, it could be team and institutional basis. And I want to believe that with this platform that we have created, we're able to have many persons form a team that can win grant. And like I mentioned earlier, we can also use the platform of our new center, DIaDeRC, the PECOS institutions and development research center to apply for institutional grants. I'm already making that move. And thanks to one of my mentors at ECOWAS, we are going to use the work with ECOWAS to apply for that. I will show us some points of that shortly. Then another point I want to mention is that grant winning is both a science and an art. Science because you are following a scientific process that can be verifiable, that can be tested by hypothesis. But then it's also an art. It's a culture that you will learn over the years because as you win one grant, you get more confidence and you have that ability to win more grants again. So it's both a science and an art. Next point is that I said earlier before, it is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, you apply for someone was asking me, Prof, how many grants do you apply? I say, well, if you want to get one grant, apply for 10. Okay, in other words, the more the merrier. If you apply for 10, you get one. That's about 10% success rate. That's quite okay. So you apply for grant is not accepted. Well, you keep it somewhere, and you see another grant, you can repackage what you apply for. So I repackage it as well and use it again. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. The next one is like what I said earlier. It's a non-linear process. So I won't say this is the template for grant. Every grant I have done, executed, is unique in its own right. In terms of even the same agency you are dealing with, the person managing the grant or the grant manager will be different, has its own perspective. And then even the reviewer or the resource persons are different. So every grant is a non-linear process because every grant is unique in itself. Okay, which I will show us the need to follow the guidelines as indicated by the grant agency from time to time. So I will take on the next slide. So how do we choose a topic? Okay. So it should be crafted in a way that whether it's a concept note or a proposal, the topic should be crafted from the thematic area given. So if there's a given area. So we are focused on health, on education, on technology. Your own topic should be crafted around it. So that, because like I said, it's a mutual interest. The foreign agency will see the need that you are bringing on board, and then it should be crafted uh, nicely and neatly. Not it's not time to blow more grammar, but keep it short and captivating. Short that when they look at the topic, like one paper that we wrote with, I think also got the grant for it. The topic was short. Africa's morning in Africa. That was the topic. And it's we have the one of our most cited work both in Scopus and in Google Scholar. Africa's morning in Africa. So it's short, we're looking at remittance. So keep it short and captivating. The next point is that it should show that the proposed research is well focused. So the topic will tell us how focused it is. And then it also reflects on what are the main questions you're addressing. So I will give us an example right away. This one is from, and thanks to somebody, I think it's from Gio that shared this call, and I just went to the call this week, and I saw something interesting. This is from what they call STDF, Standards and Trade Development Facility. I want to do that call, and this is what it said. So regarding the topic, is it make the title concise and catchy. Okay, and then for the one they give this kind of a requirement. It's better say the verb is let it start with an ing verb and mention the setup. I don't this is not this from their own, but we can learn from that. So they want the topic to have an ing verb, which is kind of an action verb, and it should reflect the sector and the country are working on. And they want it to be between 7 and 8 words. For ARC, for example, ARC is African Economic Research Consortium. They also want to be short and also make it as specific as possible. So look at example they gave for this STDF, improving the safety of smoked fish in Mali. For based on their own, it has an ing verb, and it shows the sector you are talking about, smoked fish, and the region, Mali. Number 2, prioritizing SPS. SPS means sanitary and sanitary standard. SPS investment in the Caribbean community. It has the ing, it has the focus SPS investment, it has the location or region, the Caribbean. The last one, promoting IT solutions for pest surveillance in the Asia Pacific. Again, it has the ing requirement. The focus is the IT solutions for pest surveillance, and also the region is so this is so each of this is an example, but the summary is that your topic should be catchy, concise. Like I said, keep it short and captivating, because for the topic will determine whether the reviewer is motivated to read further or look for reasons to say no. Okay, so for any grant we're applying for, let's bear this in mind. Okay. Now, grant proposal, what are the things that I will stop here and I open the floor for questions after this slide. I will stop at the CFA and then we'll open the floor for questions. Okay. So what are the things that will be in a grant proposal? There should be introduction. That should contain background, what I call SOP. And SOP, what are the things that should be there? You should show that you are conversant with the current issue on that particular issue that you're looking at. And if possible, in terms of relevance, you try as much as you can now the whole talking about SDGs or the UN. You can see how you can link it to any of the SDG goals or the other to show the relevance. And then in some funding agencies, once you have objectives, there's no need for research questions or hypotheses, but some you can separate them. So at times I can use research questions. From the question I can get the objectives, I can get the hypotheses. So it should have objectives and or research question hypotheses as the case may be. And then it may also have some insight from literature. In some bodies, this one can come under introduction. So we're able to show that some current research work have been done in this area, but mine is bringing on board or this. It show the gap your work is filling. And then two, number 4, it should also have a kind of a conceptual, analytical, or theoretical framework. So here, I like to prefer it to have like it could be a schematic, it could be a schema that will show the flow of thought. as you work on. So, and it could be a kind of theory or opinion. So either you call it a conceptual framework, radical framework. You should show the level of how you the analysis will be roped together, and that will also lead us to the next one, which is methodology. So, which some will call materials and method. So, what are the things are using? Are you going the way of qualitative research? Are you going the way of action research? Are you going the way of quantitative research or mixed methods? Also, the scope. Which scope are you covering? Okay, like the one we did for JPAL, which is also ongoing. We say, okay, even though it's in information in Nigeria, our scope is Edo State. Why? We already have a partnership from the Edo State Health Insurance Commission as our implementing partner. So that's so you make it the scope should also show for in the methodology. And then this is very important. You anticipate some call it a theory of change. Doing this my project, my grant, what are the things that will change? Okay, what are the theory of change? Okay, that also help to you echo the relevance. What are the things we expect to get from that grant proposal? So this is the and also after the proposal have been done, what are the how do you want to disseminate the result? Is it going to have an app developed or publication developed? What kind of dissemination? Are you going to have a workshop to share the ideas? So very important. And then if it's a team project, you must also show the team composition. And like I said, if you have a 3-man project or 3 there's no point of being all of you being made. So I have maybe two male, 1 female, very important. And then you also show what I call a statement of qualification, a short biography of all of the members in that team. Okay. And then very importantly, you must have a work plan. How many, for example, for ARC project, for example, they want their work to be done within a year. So, and you can have a kind of a timeline for either quarterly or monthly. How do you want to achieve the project for 1 year? So very important. And then the budget. Your budget must be smart. What I mean, for example, if the total budget is $50,000, there's no point putting you want to be $49,500. Like it means that you're only working towards the answer. So you should the budget itself should have a note for every budget item. What will be achieved? Is it for literature to be acquired, for materials to be maybe ROA to be engaged, for field work, all that to be clear, and then references also smart. So that is what the kind of component of a research grant proposal must contain. But it's not all of them have these approved in most of the grants I've done. All of these elements, many of these elements are there. Like I said, I will soon open the floor for comments and questions. But before that, I want to share this what I call CFA in research. So in your research or grant, you should be able to show these 3 core items on how your proposal is achieving these 3 core items. One, what I call the contextualization. Which context is your work addressing instead of current research? Okay, and then how feasible is the research project? Okay, how you able to achieve in 1 year? What are the threats that you may see, and what are the or constraints? How do you want to address them? So, and the approach, how do you want to present your work convincingly? So, whenever I do any proposal, before I submit, I scan through this CFA approach. So, I want to also do kind of also have this kind of imbibe this kind of practice. So, after your proposal have been reaching the first draft, scan it through this CFA. This of a context. Which context am I communicating? How feasible is the work, and then what approach am I using?